Have you ever noticed your cat staring at you from across the room, only to slowly close its eyes as if it is drifting off to sleep? Most people see this as a small, insignificant behavior, something cute but ultimately meaningless. In reality, it may be one of the most powerful messages your cat can send. Unlike humans, cats do not express trust through words, hugs, or obvious displays of affection. Instead, they communicate through subtle body language, and few signals carry more emotional weight than a slow blink. To understand why this gesture matters so much, it helps to remember what a cat is. Cats are predators capable of hunting small animals, but they are also prey themselves. In the wild, a larger predator can pose a serious threat, which means a cat's survival depends on constant awareness. Their nervous system is built around vigilance. They monitor movement, watch entrances and exits, and remain alert to anything that could become dangerous. Keeping their eyes open and their attention focused is not simply a habit. It is a survival strategy that has been shaped by thousands of years of evolution. This is what makes the slow blink so remarkable. When a cat deliberately closes its eyes while looking at you, it is temporarily giving up one of its most important defenses. For that brief moment, it is choosing vulnerability over vigilance. It is silently communicating that it does not see you as a threat and does not feel the need to guard itself against you. In the feline world, that level of trust is incredibly meaningful. It is the equivalent of saying, "I feel safe with you." What makes this behavior even more fascinating is that it is not a one-sided message. Scientific studies have shown that cats often respond when humans slow blink at them first. Researchers discovered that cats were significantly more likely to return the gesture and even approach a person after receiving a slow blink. This suggests that the behavior functions as a genuine social signal rather than a random facial movement. In other words, a slow blink is a conversation. Your cat offers trust, and you can choose to offer it back. The next time your cat looks at you, try softening your expression and slowly closing your eyes before opening them again. Many cats will respond in kind. The exchange may last only a few seconds, but it represents something profound. In a world where cats are naturally cautious and selective about whom they trust, a slow blink is one of the clearest signs that you have earned a place in their inner circle. It is quiet, subtle, and easy to miss, yet it may be the closest thing a cat can say to, "I trust you completely." Have you ever been scratched or bitten by your cat and felt completely shocked because it seemed to come out of nowhere? Most owners assume the attack was sudden, but the truth is usually very different. Cats are constantly communicating their comfort level through body language long before they feel the need to use their claws or teeth. The problem is not that cats fail to warn us. The problem is that many people never learn how to read the warnings. To a cat, aggression is rarely the first choice. It is often the final step in a conversation that has already been happening for several seconds or even minutes. The first signal often appears in the tail. Many people associate a moving tail with happiness, because that is true for dogs. But cats play by different rules. A sharply swishing tail, a forceful thump against the floor, or increasingly rapid tail movements usually indicate growing irritation. Think of it as a pressure gauge. The faster and more forcefully the tail moves, the closer the cat is to reaching its limit. If the situation continues, the next warning often comes from the ears. They begin to rotate backward and flatten against the head, creating what many owners call airplane ears. This is not a random posture. It is a protective response that prepares the cat for potential conflict while also signaling discomfort. The message is simple: I do not like what is happening right now. Then comes the signal that fools people most often, the freeze. Suddenly the tail stops moving, the body becomes still, and the cat appears calm. Many owners see this moment and assume the cat has relaxed. In reality, the opposite is often true. The freeze is frequently the final pause before action. It is the moment when the cat stops communicating and starts preparing to defend itself. This is why so many bites and scratches seem unexpected. The warnings were there, but they were misunderstood. Understanding these signals changes the entire relationship between you and your cat. When you notice the tail, the ears, or the freeze, the best response is not to push further. It is to pause and give the cat space. Doing so teaches your cat that communication works. It shows them that they do not need to escalate to claws or teeth to be understood. Over time, this strengthens trust because your cat learns that you respect their boundaries. In the end, these signals are not signs of a mean or aggressive cat. They are signs of an honest cat trying to communicate in the only language they have. The more willing you are to listen, the stronger and safer your bond will become. Have you ever had your cat walk up to you, press its forehead against your hand, or slowly rub its cheek along your leg before wandering away as if nothing happened? Most people see this behavior as a simple sign of affection, and while affection is certainly part of it, the message runs much deeper. To understand what your cat is really saying, you have to understand how cats experience the world. Humans rely heavily on sight and language, but cats rely on scent. Smell is one of the most important ways they identify familiar individuals, define safe spaces, and build social relationships. Hidden around a cat's cheeks, chin, and forehead are scent glands that release chemical signals invisible to us, but extremely meaningful to them. When your cat rubs these areas against you, they are doing more than seeking attention. They are leaving part of their scent behind. In the feline world, scent acts almost like a social signature. It tells a cat who belongs, who is familiar, and who can be trusted. By placing their scent on you, your cat is essentially including you within their social circle. They are blending your identity with theirs and creating a shared scent profile that represents family. This is why head bunting and cheek rubbing carry so much emotional significance. They are not random habits or cute quirks. They are deliberate social behaviors rooted in trust and acceptance. In many ways, these actions reveal something surprising about the relationship between cats and humans. We often think of ourselves as the owners. We provide food, shelter, and care, so it is easy to assume the relationship flows in one direction. Yet from the cat's perspective, the bond often feels far more mutual. When a cat marks you with its scent, it is not simply acknowledging your existence. It is claiming you as part of its group. In a sense, your cat has decided that you belong together. This decision is not given lightly. Cats are naturally cautious animals that reserve trust for a very small number of individuals. That is why being chosen carries such weight. Every head bump, every cheek rub, and every moment your cat presses its face against you is a quiet declaration of belonging. It is your cat saying that you are familiar, accepted, and safe. Beneath the simple gesture lies one of the strongest social messages a cat can offer. You are not just someone who lives in the same house. You are family. Many cat owners joke that their cat is secretly obsessed with them. The cat follows them into the kitchen, waits outside the bathroom door, appears the moment they sit down, and somehow always seems to know where they are. While this behavior is often dismissed as clinginess or curiosity, it actually reveals something much more meaningful. At the heart of these actions is attachment. Cats may have a reputation for being independent, but when they trust someone deeply, they often begin treating that person as their emotional center. One of the clearest examples of this connection is vocal communication. Most people are surprised to learn that adult cats rarely meow at one another. Once they leave kittenhood, they rely primarily on scent, posture, and body language when interacting with other cats. Yet, when it comes to humans, everything changes. Cats develop a unique vocal language specifically for us. The chirps, trills, soft meows, and insistent calls we hear throughout the day are not random sounds. They are deliberate attempts to communicate. Over time, many cats even learn which specific sounds are most likely to get a response from their favorite human. When your cat looks directly at you and meows, they are not speaking to the room. They are speaking to you. Following behavior carries a similar message. A cat that chooses to move from room to room with you is making a statement about where it feels safest. Out of all the comfortable places available in the house, it keeps selecting the place where you are. Your presence provides familiarity, predictability, and reassurance. This is why many cats wait outside closed doors or appear whenever their owner settles down somewhere. They are not simply monitoring activity. They are choosing proximity to someone they trust. Another powerful signal appears when you come home. Watch your cat's tail carefully. A tail held straight upright, often with a small curl or hook at the tip, is one of the friendliest greetings a cat can offer. It is a social signal associated with trust and positive intentions. Kittens use it when approaching their mothers, and adult cats use it with individuals they consider part of their social group. What makes this greeting especially meaningful is that it often happens before you have done anything.
Okay,
Before
I
food,
understand.
before attention,
You need some
before
space right
rewards,
now,
the
and
tail
that's
rises
perfectly
simply
fine.
because you arrived. Together, these behaviors reveal a simple truth. To your cat, you are more than a provider of food and shelter. You are their safe place, their trusted reference point, and the person who helps the world feel familiar. Every meow, every step behind you, and every upright tail greeting is a reminder that in your cat's eyes, home is not just a place. Home is you. Of all the signals cats give, none is misunderstood more often than the belly display. Almost every cat owner has experienced it. A cat suddenly rolls onto its back, stretches out comfortably, and reveals its soft stomach while looking directly at them. To most people, the message seems obvious. The cat
Leaving
wants a
behind
belly rub.
familiar-
A hand reaches down, fingers touch the stomach, and within seconds, the situation changes. Claws appear, back feet start kicking, or the cat grabs the hand and pushes it away. The owner is left confused, wondering why such a friendly invitation ended so badly. The answer is simple. The cat was communicating something important, but the message was misunderstood. A cat's abdomen is one of the most vulnerable parts of its body. Unlike other areas protected by muscle and bone, the belly contains vital organs with very little natural protection. In the wild, exposing this area would be risky around anything considered dangerous. That is why most cats instinctively protect their stomachs and react quickly when it is touched unexpectedly. When a cat rolls over and deliberately exposes its belly in your presence, the behavior is often not a request for physical contact. Instead, it is a display of trust. The cat is showing that it feels completely safe. It is lowering its defenses and revealing the part of its body it would normally guard most carefully. In many ways, this gesture is similar to the slow blink, but even more vulnerable. The cat is not saying, "Touch me here." It is saying, "I trust you enough to let my guard down around you." This distinction changes everything. Once you understand the real meaning behind the behavior, the goal is no longer to take advantage of the moment, but to respect it. Some cats genuinely enjoy belly rubs, especially if they have developed a long history of trust with a particular person. However, they are the exception rather than the rule. Most cats appreciate having their trust acknowledged without having the gesture turned into unwanted physical contact. A soft voice, a gentle stroke on the head, or simply allowing the moment to exist can often be the best response. Ultimately, the belly display brings together the central lesson of understanding cats. They communicate through subtle signals rather than obvious declarations. Trust, affection, and emotional security are often expressed in quiet ways that are easy to overlook. The strongest relationships are built when we learn to recognize these signals and respond with respect. When we do, we show our cats that their communication matters, and that trust becomes the foundation of a deeper and more meaningful bond.